obviously when Hamara movie came up with this new venture called Shuruaat Ka Interval. So Interval was the topic of the films that they wanted to make an anthology. So so they actually announced that, and then we got to know, and then obviously like we worked with Hamara movie, previous film I made with them. So so then the thing is, I got to know about the whole venture, and then they informed us that we'll have to make a film on interval. So that is the topic. And once we got to know that, so obviously they were supposed to choose a couple of scripts, and finally they will make those films. So that was the whole structure of it. From the very beginning, I had this very, faint, let's say, attraction towards gatekeepers or isolated level crossings and stuff like that. Those are very strong visuals I had, because I had like very faint memory of passing through level crossings, and seeing the gatekeepers in an isolated level crossing and stuff like that. So I had that strong image in me, and then that was a very brief and very initial thought that I had. And obviously it took couple of, let's say, some time for me to understand how I can interpret gatekeeper or a situation like gatekeeper and incorporate that in an interval situation. And then obviously then I started writing about the story, and as I kept on thinking about it, this interval between two trains, like the interval period between two trains, that became the primary thought. So it was a very tricky thing, because the thing is, I'll have to just go back a little. Obviously, first when I conceived the story, I was a little skeptical, or maybe not very sure whether I'll be able to execute that, because obviously knowing the budget and how much we can afford to make a film on this sort of a topic, where you require a certain space, a location, train, level crossing, and all those things. Even though the characters are less, even though you don't need that many people to engage in the whole space, but to find a place and to get this facilities will be a tough job. And especially staying in Bombay, whatever I can imagine at that point of time was not allowing me to immediately get convinced, okay, I will be able to make this film if tomorrow, if I need to make it. So then they kind of gave us a very small bracket to shoot with a very limited resources, like one small camera, one or two people, and then just go and shoot and come back and stuff like that. So then obviously that also restricted us from going beyond a certain point. And hence I was a little skeptical in terms of planning the shoot. Obviously with Pooja I could discuss in detail, like, even though obviously we had short division, but we also had the floor planning. So we knew that we are having only this much of time in our hand, and how to execute that and how to get the best out of it. We reached there at around, let's say, 9ish in the morning, and then we finished the shoot by around 5:30. Obviously it needs certain attention in terms of 5.1 mixing, and when it's going to the theater for a release. So definitely that was another aspect, apart from a very basic sound designing point of view, what we had already discussed, but like doing a proper Foley, doing a proper 5.1 mixing for the theater and all. So that we had to take a decision once we had the film in our hand, and we knew that now we are actually making it for the theater. First of all, as a filmmaker, you just keep on learning as you keep on making films. It also helps you to understand the language, the craft, or whatever you call it. So that is one thing definitely helped me to understand the storytelling part a little more than what I was at that point of time. Like today, when I'm looking at Gatekeeper, maybe आज अगर होता तो मैं बोल देता कि नहीं हो पाएगा. So now the thing is that innocence, that that craziness of making film, or that urge of making something was also very much genuine, or very much original at that point of time.
I had gone to Berlinale Talent Campus where, we had experimented about shooting a sequence on different cameras. So I was confident that, you can have different cameras, but there's a certain way you can shoot it. The thing was, there was only last train, which was around 5:15, 5:30, express train coming. And after that it was at 7 o'clock, so we couldn't shoot at 7 o'clock because we wanted the daytime, because everything else was shot in daytime, right? And I couldn't go back there because of course there was budget constraints. And so we wanted one long shot and one close shot with Bachchan ji of his flag. So 5D we placed with Bachchan ji and the train coming. And iPad Atanu hid behind the and behind that crossings, the quarter that was there, and he hid behind that and he took a long shot on iPad. At that point I spoke to Neil Sadwekar and the team, Sumit and Sriram. They had a setup, and Dilshad nicely has matched the difference of both the cameras. But it's also how you use it on the edit. There was a lot of improvisation also, like he having food. I got this very interesting frame through the window where, he's sitting outside and eating. So we had thought, I think we had more than 3 shots for that, 3-4 shots for that. But once we kept that and he ate the food and we took like a master shot from the window, Atanu was like, Pooja, I think this is it. We don't need anything more. Let's. So there were these things also. Like there was always a scope of improvisation, because if your director is visually strong, which Atanu has that kind of eye, he has that. Like whenever I've worked with him, I've realized that visually there are a lot of elements in the script itself, and the visuals organically come. So it wasn't. I had not thought about a theatrical release, but it was more of having the film to be cinematic in one way. It should have one kind of a style that was always there in the mind. It wasn't specially done for big screen, or that thought wasn't there. And because I had done Crossing Bridges on 5D, what had happened was I had tested the camera so well that I knew how it will come out on the big screen.
ये बात करेक्टर करने की तो उसमें बहुत ज्यादा सोचने की जरूरत नहीं होती है। उसको 4 बार आप रीड करो, उसकी एक एक चीज जो है पता लग जाती है कि ये कैसे उठेगा, कैसे बैठेगा, कैसे पहुंचेगा, क्या जेस्चर होंगे, क्या पोस्चर होंगे, क्या थॉट्स होंगे, सारा कुछ पता लग जाता है। आप डीपली उसको जाइए, पढ़िए बस। कोई बहुत ज्यादा ये मेथड एक्टिंग नहीं है कि जाके कि ड्रामा स्कूल में पढ़ा, फिर इसको ऐसे करते हैं, फिर इसको सांस को अंदर खींचो, फिर ये वो ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है। नॉर्मल करेक्टर है, उसको नॉर्मली लो आप, बड़ी सहजता से। जितना उसके अंदर आप जाएंगे वो उतनी ही सहजता से आपके बाहर आएगी। हम वैसे हम जाते आते हैं, पढ़ते भी थे, साइकिल लेके जाते थे, इस तरह की जो क्रॉसिंग होती है वहां के निकलते भी थे। तो मतलब ऑब्जर्वेशन तो होता ही है। जब तक आप किसी को नहीं देखेंगे तो उसके बारे में फिर आप इमेजिन करेंगे। इमेजिन वो एकदम करेक्ट नहीं हो सकता है। तो ये सारी चीजें देखी हुई हैं हमने। और इसका क्या है ना, जैसे इस्लाम हुआ, गांव की लाइफ हुई विलेज वाली, स्कूल की पढ़ने वाली, साइकिल से भाग के जाने वाला, टीचरों से इस तरह का, वो सारा जिया है, मतलब उसको आत्मसात किया है, उसको अंदर इनहेल किया हुआ है। तो बहुत ज्यादा वो नहीं पड़ता है। ये सारी चीजें देखो, हम तो ये जो गार्ड होता है पीछे, भाई स्कूल से छुट्टी हुई, ट्रेन लेट है, तो मालगाड़ी में गार्ड के वाले डब्बे में घुस के चढ़ गए। तो ये जो हरकतें होती है ना, ये आपके काम आती हैं।
When I got the script, I thought something is there. I mean, there is no dialogue. So I was like, okay, there is no dialogue. I mean, it's very rare for a sound designer to get this kind of film. Then, and this is not like a linear script in the sense that something is there. I mean, I'm saying because when I saw the edit, then I got to know, okay, this is now it's like kind of clear. This is the picture and what we can do. When the edit came on the sound edit table, so then I realized, yeah, this is something else. We need to do a lot of work on this. And, like especially describing a character, I mean, who doesn't have any dialogue. And there is a thin line between realism and dreamy part. And you have to, and it's on screen, it's a bigger screen, it's going to amplify. And so all those things are going in my mind. So the first thing I told them, frankly, okay, you give me some time, let me sit on that, let me figure out something, and you come back after some time. I'm going to show you something. And then when they came back, I showed them the sound edit, design in 5.1. And I said, see, you have to do Foley and you have to mix it. I mean, you are visualizing a character, right? And you need to know the footstep, the kind of movement of the character. I mean, why there he is sitting, I mean, or he is kind of working. I mean, you need to give a kind of weight to this person. That comes to the Foley. The edit is very much important, like the sound edit. Like for an example, I still remember while like Bachchanji, like there is a shot against the window. I mean, camera is inside and he's sitting outside having the food, and he looks twice like on his right. And so Atanu told me we should have a motive, like he turns his head. So now these are very interesting element comes in the film as a sound. So then this idea is Atanu's only. He said, okay, let's do a thing like, I don't think this was scripted, but I mean, we had sessions in the like sound edit, in the sound design. And Atanu is very clinical about edit and of course sound. So
he is himself an editor, so no wonder.
And he said, okay, I mean, so we can put something. So then he came up, okay, let's say there is a school and that becomes the motive of this person looking to that side. There was another thing I was talking to Sino, like we should have a feel, this huge giant machine is coming towards you, we should have a feel of it like on the face, rather than just process even you should feel the wind, So I mean, in the theater you could feel it. I don't think in like headphone you should have a good headphone to. All those things it was very fun.